It's playoff time. Big stakes, bigger promotions. Every day of basketball playoffs, DraftKings will have $20,000 in total prizes up for grabs. The best part? It's free to get your shot at these daily cash prizes. DraftKings will be offering 2 free play pools every day of the NBA playoffs, offering players a free shot at $20,000 in total prizes. DraftKings free-to-play pools are easy to enter. Just download the DraftKings app, go to pools, and choose from a wide variety of free contests for an opportunity to win cash prizes. All you have to do is answer a handful of questions around what you think is going to happen during that day's basketball games and track your results throughout that evening. Questions will range from which team will hit the most threes to which team will score first. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable, so you can deposit and withdraw your money at your convenience. Download the top-rated DraftKings app now and use the promo code THPN when you sign up to get your free shot at $20,000 in total prizes every day of the basketball playoffs. Head to DraftKings Pools page to get your shot at huge cash prizes. That's promo code THPN for limited time only at DraftKings. Eligibility restriction apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
You are now tuned in to the Windy City Benders podcast. This is WCBP.
It's another edition of the Windy City Bender podcast, part of the Hockey Podcast Network. We're coming at you on a Thursday. I decided to go to the lake and do some shit, so we missed Sunday recording, and I came home, I fell asleep. So sorry, guys.
It's all your fault.
As always,
I was exhausted too.
Yeah, we had a couple interviews on things on Monday, and we were both like, "Oh God, fucking exhausted." But as always, I'm with Tanner. Tanner, what's up, bud?
Nothing much, man. Just getting to watch some playoff hockey and having a good time.
Yeah, so we are gonna go with a little bit of a different decision on how we made our predictions for the playoffs this year, because we waited till game 3 for the Washington Capitals and Boston Bruins started to make our predictions.
I just want to be a very, very educated prediction.
I'm sticking with my bracket for the bracket challenge. I'm sticking with that, and if we need to, we'll put those up on Instagram if anyone calls BS on what we picked. But yeah, so we're gonna do a little bit of playoff prediction, maybe recap a little bit of the games going on so far. Also, we're gonna do our picks for some of the individual awards on the year. They still haven't announced who is being nominated for what yet, so this is strictly what we think is deserved and who deserves it.
Yeah.
So feel free to yell at us. Definitely let us know what you think. And we're going to wrap things up. We have a special little interview here. We were joined by Jay and Chris Cimoch, who is the founders and co-founders of Cimoch Hockey Training, who's a local hockey family legend, kind of. Their dad, Chris, is a huge influence, a lot of Southside hockey players. I know, Tanner, you were North Side, so you weren't really familiar with him, but yeah, it was a cool little interview here and kind of what they're doing, what their plans are for it, and nice little insight into that. Yeah, anything else you want to get off?
No, let's
get going.
I mean, season's over. Hawks didn't make it, but it's all good. Nobody was expecting it to happen.
Yeah, we're also going to do our Hawks season recap on Sundays for Monday's episode. So
yeah, we want to get right into the playoffs here, just since we're also running a little late on that.
So yeah, there's going to be no Hawks talk in this episode,
except for that moment we just had there.
Yeah.
Unless I feel like saying Pia Suter should be a nominee for the Calder, but I'm probably not going to say that.
All right, so what do you want to do, Tanner? I'll let you pick. You want to do predictions first, or do you want to do awards?
Let's get awards out of the way real quick.
All right, cool. Because
I think they can go pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm not prepared at all though, so this will be interesting.
I mean, let's just go with the easiest one right away. I mean, the Hart Trophy.
Hart Trophy, yeah. Patrick Kane, no.
I mean, it's got to be Tuukka Rask. Are you kidding me? With what he did with that team this year? Taylor Hall, maybe? I mean,
which team?
Taylor Hall on the Sabres. I think, I mean, it's without a doubt, everybody's going to say it's Connor McDavid. It's impossible to not be Connor McDavid when he put up over 100 points in a shortened season. Like,
Yeah,
oh my
and
God.
so talking about this really quick too. The last time we were recorded, I asked you if it was dumb to do individual awards this year, and actually had one of our buddies, Vito, comment on like the little social media post I did with it, and he had actually a really interesting idea. I want to get this out of the way really quick, just because I do want to put that out there. He said that for each award, instead of having 3 nominees, there should be 4, one from each division.
Yeah.
So that way each player from each division is representative, and then you go by the player that did the best in their division.
Oh, that's fine. I mean,
so
instead of having like, oh, the Hart trophies between like Connor McDavid and Austin Matthews and Patrick Kane, you would have like Connor McDavid and he represents the North, like Kaner represents the Central.
Yeah.
And then who fucking cares about the East and the West?
Exactly. I mean, and we even said, we're like, yeah, all this wouldn't apply to the Hart because this is the only one that is clear cut.
Yeah.
No doubt about it, Connor McDavid. He would have done this regardless if he was playing against the whole league or whatnot.
I mean, after seeing this, like, next year, can you imagine? Like, I mean, maybe it's hopeful being in Canada and there being absolutely no fans on the road and him being able to just completely take over games on the road as well. But I think that if this is what he's doing in a shortened season, like next year, like he's going to be even better. Like do you think he can break 150?
I mean, God, because you got to also think though too. You're throwing him up against even the worst teams in the league. You get some of the worst teams he didn't even play.
Yeah.
Buffalo, New Jersey. Who else? Like, really?
Can you imagine the points per game that he would have against a team like Buffalo this year?
Oh my God.
He put up over 2 points per game against like Vancouver and Calgary or some shit. Like Buffalo, like that'd be insane.
Like, wasn't it some stat too that over like the last 2 weeks of the 14 days of his season, he had more points than like all the New Jersey's top goals or point getter.
Oh yeah.
Buffalo's, like
it was like 19 teams.
Yeah, it was
insane. He had more points than 19 like leaders on their team, and it was fucking insane. Thank God we have Patrick Kane that we didn't get to be a part of that embarrassment.
He's a freak, man.
Yeah, so I mean, Connor McDavid.
Still not even 25. That's what's more insane to me.
Yeah. It's, oh my God, it's crazy. So yeah, he's I think it's without a doubt. Like, I don't know who else could be. I don't even know if there's going to be other nominees. Like, what's the point?
What do you even think? Like, if you get like, hey, you got nominated for an NHL for an award. Oh, what award? The Hart. Oh, fuck me.
Oh, cool. Thanks a lot for the nomination.
Yeah.
Who nominated me? My mom. I bet she did.
I'm very curious to see if there's even going to be a vote that doesn't go him for first place.
Yeah, I don't like. I feel like it's gonna be like unanimous. Besides maybe some writer that's just salty on like Edmonton or some shit.
Toronto writer.
Yeah, that's like, I think Austin Matthews, what he did during the season, scoring as many goals as he did, is a little bit more valuable to him. And I just say you're an idiot.
Yeah. All right, let's move to the Jack Adams, just because I have standings up here.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going with Quenneville in Florida.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I was gonna say Quenneville. My second one would be Brindamore.
The bod.
Yeah, and then I mean, I'm seeing this other one too, which also makes some good sense. Is Dean Evason? It's the coach of the Wild, and they had a great season, and like a quietly great season. I mean, they're a very defensive team that got a lot of help from Kirill Kaprizov coming in. but I could see that being. That's a really good choice there too.
Yeah, I mean, who's Pittsburgh? Even Pittsburgh, maybe.
I don't remember.
I don't know, but no. So Coach Q, I'm going Coach Q. Who are you locking in? Rod the Bod, Coach Q, or
I would say Q, just because I don't know. I'll say Rod the Bod because they ended up in first in that division, and they had to go against Tampa, and Florida had a great year too.
okay, yeah. I mean, it's not really a sexy award to predict and all that kind of stuff, but it is kind of insane what some of these guys are able to do. Like Quinville finally it's not a full season, but he's had his nucleus there in Florida now. So he was kind of really able to put his system in place, and I think players bought into it.
Yeah. I mean, even with Aaron Ekblad going down, they still finished the season strong and take second place in the division. So I think that's pretty impressive. I think this is just like kind of a funny award too, because it's kind of like, oh, like which team performed better than they should have on paper because of the coaching. It's like, okay.
So, all right. Your choice. Where you want to
go? Norris.
All right.
I always think it's like Victor Hedman's trophy to lose, just because he's clearly like the best defenseman in the league.
That's who I'm sticking with Victor. I think I've gone Victor the last 3 years.
But I've seen a lot of chatter about Adam Fox. I didn't get to watch a lot of Rangers games this year just because, I mean, we didn't get to play them ever. And I don't know, unless it's on like NBCSN when I'm going to catch a Rangers game, but you put up some great stats, man. 47 points in 55 games. He was a plus 19. I guess he plays almost 25 minutes a game. Like Victor Hedman only played on average 20-ish seconds more than he did a game. That's pretty impressive coming from Adam Fox, and Cale Makar's up there too. And like these two guys were like just Calder Trophy nominees last year. Or no, Adam Fox wasn't a nominee for Calder. That's right. It was Quinn Hughes and Kubalik. Yeah, but Adam Fox was like, Rangers fans were pissed that he was getting snuffed. But it's like, if you're the third best defenseman as a rookie, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to put you up there with like one of the best, with the best like forward rookie. And
I'm sure we can go back and find it, but there's actually a little rant you have about why Adam Fox shouldn't be nominated for Calder. I remember that.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're not going to be even the second best rookie like defenseman, there's no point in putting you in the Calder.
I know we talk about this all the time, and it's like, but it should not be a points thing too. Like that's what's so frustrating about it, that I think it's gonna end up going. Well, Tyson Barrie finished top.
Are you talking? Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about just the Norris, not the Calder.
No, the Norris. Yeah, I'm talking about the Norris right now. I think it's so stupid that it's turned into like the high scoring defenseman. And that's why I always stick with Hedman, because yeah, he's a high score defenseman, but he backs it up on the back end too. Like,
right.
See Chris Letang, Tyson Barrie.
Well, here's the other thing too. It's like Adam Fox has a shorthanded goal. He's got 2 shorthanded points. So you like just looking at that, he plays on the penalty kill as well. He's like all over the place. I want to see more of him. Like I don't get to watch him enough, but I got to see a lot of Victor Hedman this year, and goddamn, is he just impressive.
Oh, good. So who are you going with?
I don't know. I'm gonna go with Hedman, but I would like to see more of Fox. Like that's, I guess, my own fault for not being able to see more of him. But like I've seen a lot of chatter about him being the top Norris getter, which I think is very impressive for a second-year player, you know?
Yeah. And we were really boring.
Why is that? Did you choose Hedman too? Yeah.
Hedman, you both took McDavid. You only took Rod the Bod just to be different, but
yeah, but I mean, these are kind of easy ones.
All right,
I think that actually all the awards are kind of fucking easy for the most part.
Let's go Calder.
Calder, easy again. Kirill Kaprizov.
Yeah.
Just with the season that kid had. Like, there's no fucking way you can choose anyone else. Maybe I could say like Lankinen had a fantastic year too, but he didn't finish that strong. Kirill Kaprizov actually started the year not that great and then exploded like maybe a third of the way through and finished the season completely amazing.
I don't know how much you still pay attention to another hockey podcast that's on a huge network, but they had Foligno on talking about him, and there's like a story they posted on social media that during like training camp, they the night before each day, their PR guy would text the team and let them know what groups they were playing in, and like and he kept getting put into like the taxi squad, like playing the second reps and all that kind of stuff. After the third or fourth day, he goes and he thought he was texting the PR guy, but he texts the group chat and says, "I want to be with the best players, not the shit players." Mm-hmm. And he texts that to the entire Minnesota, like starters, the taxi squad players, and all that kind of stuff. And Foligno's just like, yeah, he came in the next day and was just like head down, didn't look at anybody. And he goes, it was funny because it was a good bonding moment because players that weren't even on the team yet were jumping in, chirping in. And this guy, he goes, Cam Talbot, who hasn't even stepped out foot on the ice yet for the team at that point, was sitting in there chirping in with the rest of the boys. So it's funny. It just kind of shows though too, like he wants to be the best. You can tell when he's playing, when something doesn't go, like he might pull off like an amazing move, but then you watch him on the bench after it. If it didn't result in a goal, he's pissed. Like he is not happy with himself. So I think he definitely deserves it. And what's the most frustrating thing is that he's going to make the Wild entertaining to watch.
Yeah. I mean, it just reminds me of like Marian Gaborik. Like he was the Wild offense. And like, that's like what Kaprizov like has become is like, that's the offense because they're such a good defensive team. They always have been, it seems like. And you know what? I was just thinking that was kind of funny. It's the Minnesota Wild turn an ex-Oilers goalie into a good goalie again with Cam Talbot.
Oh, wait, didn't they do this into a Dubnyk?
Yeah. 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 So it's just like they go and try and help out Edmonton, or they play in Edmonton for a little bit. Then they just become nothing, like a shell of themselves. They hop around from team to team, end up in Minnesota, and then become a stone fucking wall.
Too bad for Smith that Edmonton signed Talbot long term.
Yeah. I just forgot about Jason Robertson though. He had a great season, like very quiet, like when he was putting up a lot of points for Dallas when they were getting back into like almost a playoff position.
Yeah, he had 17 goals, 28 assists. It was a plus 13, 1 power play goal, 6 power play points. I mean, yeah, he is a great player too. He was sneaky, like you said. I think it kind of hurt that Dallas was kind of like an afterthought with everybody, with missing so many players throughout, and they didn't start their season until like 2 weeks into it.
Yeah, they were written off as like not going to make it because they weren't going to have Radulov, Sagan, or Bishop for the whole year, even though they had just made the Stanley Cup Finals. They were like, "There's no chance in hell." But I mean, I don't know. I might be able to pull up like their team stats real quick, but I feel like, did he lead their team in points, or who would have led their team in points?
I would not be surprised if he did it.
Because he has 45 points in 56 games. I don't like who else would have, like Jamie Benn doesn't put up that many points anymore.
Oh,
I don't know. Rupe Hintz. Like, let's see. How quick can we figure this out? I got it.
I'm brain fart trying to.
Oh shit! I'm on playoffs. Joe Pavelski. Okay.
Oh yeah, he had a huge year.
Yeah, that makes sense. Pavelski had 51 points. Robertson had 45. Rupe Hintz had 43. Other than that, their third in rookie points is Josh Norris. And Ottawa, I mean, they're going to be fucking good. Josh Norris, I didn't really hear much about him, but Tim Stützle had a 6th season too.
Did you see the? Yeah, you sent the video to us of after his hat trick.
Yeah,
Fans there. The neighbor kids came and threw a bunch of hats into his yard.
yeah, that was hilarious.
How about 2 Blackhawks? I know we said no Hawks talk, but 2 Blackhawks finishing top 10 in rookie scoring.
Brandon fucking Hagel, baby. He's gonna be so goddamn good. I can't wait. And then Pius Suter playing top line, getting 27 points in 55 games. But yeah, I mean, it's Kirill Kaprizov, man. He almost had a point per game as a 24-year-old rookie, which I don't care that it, like when people are like, oh, like it shouldn't count. He played professionally in the KHL for years. It's like whatever, man. It's
played professional for a year in Switzerland.
Yeah.
So he had to give up his?
No, like that's like whatever. Like who gives a shit? If it's your first year in the NHL, the game's completely like different from the KHL and like the European style game. Like sure, it's still put puck in net, score a goal, fucking win game.
And sorry, you come to the NHL to play. That's the only league that matters. And what you do in the NHL is the only thing that really matters.
Yeah.
So
and I mean,
once that puck drops in your first NHL game, everything you did overseas means nothing. Yeah, it's cool to be like, oh, cool, this guy was able to do this and blah, blah, blah. But
does it translate?
Oh,
exactly. And I mean, Kirill Kaprizov fucking led his team in points. The second most points on his team was 40 with Kevin Fiala. So, I mean, a rookie coming in and making that kind of a statement on that team is pretty sick. I can't wait to play the Wild again and see if we can still beat him.
Take him down a peg or two.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so Kirill Kaprizov, huh?
Yep.
Calder.
Yep. And here we go. Last but not least, the Vezina.
I just don't want to give it to like Vasilevsky.
Vasilevsky seems to be the favorite. But looking at him, he is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th in goals against average.
Is he really?
6th in save percentage. Well, he did have 5 shutouts.
Whatever. Philip Grubauer had 7 shutouts.
Yeah.
So he had a it's sorted by wins right now. Okay. I think Marc-Andre Fleury had an unreal season.
Oh, God. He is just never like – he's kind of like – I don't want to – it's hard to compare. We're probably a bad comparison, but, man, he reminds me of Kane. Every year he's supposed to be like, it should be his decline.
Yeah.
He's just still putting up amazing numbers, like, and topping himself.
Yeah. Even, like – UC Saros had a good year to end it. Like there was that one point where he had like 3 weeks with like only a goal or less, and it was fucking insane. But yeah, I would say, man, Marc-Andre Fleury, that's kind of sick. 928 with a 198, 6 shutouts. I mean, Philip Grubauer 922 with a 195 and 7 shutouts crazy stats.
I'm going for the kid in Carolina. I'm not even going to attempt to say his name.
Nedeljkovic?
Yeah.
I don't think he played enough games for this. He only played 23 games.
It's 15-5.
15-5-3.
15-5-3 with a 1.90.
Maybe next year if he's able to keep that up, but
932 save percentage.
I don't think that 23 games is enough for being like in the actual qualification because you have Marc-Andre Fleury who played 36, Grubauer played 40, Vasilevsky played 42. Where's Varlamov? Varlamov played 36. He had a 929, 7 shutouts and a 204. Like if this kid played a few 13 more games, and he would kept up that 932, that's fucking insane. But no way. I don't think that I can include him right now.
But if he ends up being nominated,
but if he keeps that shit up, man, holy shit.
He gets nominated, coming back. I'm retracting whoever I end up picking right now, and just making note of it. I mentioned it.
What, Nedeljkovic?
Yeah.
But even Dredger had a 927 this year. Where's my boy? Where's Lankinen? I don't know where he's at.
I'm going Grubauer. I think he's gonna.
You're going Grubauer?
Yeah, I think he'll get kind of now. Vasilevsky deserved it when he got it, but I think he'll kind of have that like mindset because he had such a great team in front of him that it made him look so much better. Like it's like President's Trophy, all that, and that I'm going Grubauer.
I'd say I would go with like Flower. The team ended up winning the President's Trophy, they almost won the President's Trophy. You just said that fucking Colorado won it. I forgot about that. I saw something on Reddit that was pretty funny where like somewhere like there was some advertisement that was like get your West Division champion like Vegas Golden Knights gear now. Oops, that was a little too soon.
Had they ever won a division title?
Still. No, yeah, the first year they won it.
Okay.
Yeah, they came in first in their division their very first season.
God, I feel so bad for Seattle. They don't do anything half of what Vegas does, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, what a fucking joke."
Nah, that'll be good. That'll be all right.
All right, so there is our selection for awards, or at least 5 of the awards. Maybe.
Yeah,
I think we'll compare. I think when they actually announce who's getting nominated for each award, we'll do a little comparison to see how far off we were versus who they.
I think it's pretty spot on.
Yeah, but let us know who you think's gonna win each award, or if you got any sleeper picks or surprises that you think we didn't think of. Let's move on
like
to
whoever the coach is for the Buffalo Sabres, like sneaky Jack Adams award winner.
Hey, he did pretty well when he took over for. I can't even think of who it was either because of how irrelevant they were.
Yeah, I mean, they went almost over in the entire month of March.
Yeah, that's brutal. All right, playoff time. Playoffs started
Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday with some exciting hockey. The first 3 playoff games. I think this was the first time it happened
Ever.
That the first 3 games went to overtime. So it was playoff atmosphere right away. It's been great seeing fans back in the stands. Carolina was at full capacity for their game 1, which was awesome. Washington, if they are around come June 11th, they'll be at full capacity.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see.
Yeah. Montreal is going to have fans for their game 1.
Is it really?
Or not game 1, the March 28th.
Yeah, if they're still playing or something.
Yeah.
May 28th?
Yeah, May. God damn it. I'm getting my days months mixed up.
June, January, May, March. It's all good.
So yeah, let's start with the North Division since they haven't even played yet, so we could technically get ahead of this one.
Yeah, why not, huh?
Even though Edmonton is playing tonight, and by the time this gets posted, they will have already played.
Yeah, it's okay.
So let's go to Toronto, Montreal first.
Who do you got?
I put Toronto.
Yeah.
But I'm cheering for Montreal.
I put down Montreal in 7.
I think the Leafs finally get past the first round this year. But how amazing would it be if they lose to Montreal in the first round?
Until they actually do it, I'm not going to go with them. They push every series to at least the last game of the series. Last year with Columbus and the previous years with all the other fucking teams that they're playing, like going into game 7s. But until they actually win that final game and move on from the first round or even the preliminary round like last year, I'm not going to bet on Toronto winning.
I mean, let's be honest here. Even if they win this first round, Do they even have a chance to get that to end the curse?
I think it's kind of like that monkey off your back kind of thing, and they might be able to cruise and like play some really good hockey. Like where you're feeling so tense and like if anything goes wrong and you're just like, fuck, not again this year, not again, not again, not again. And then if you finally like break through in that fourth game in that first round, and then you're like, oh, just like so much relief. And then it's like, nobody even thinks we're supposed to be here. That fucking, I don't know, man. Like, I just think, like I said, prove me wrong. Like, I don't doubt that they could do it. I mean, show me. I don't have you winning.
God, if Montreal fucking wins, we have to do little check in on Frank and Noli, see how they're doing.
Yeah.
But all right, I took Toronto in 6, by the way.
I got Montreal in 7, like I said.
Yeah. Edmonton.
Also with Carey Price, like you saw what happened last year when he took out the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Did you see him today in practice?
Yeah, he lost his shit. He let up a goal in practice and fucking snapped his stick over the post. And that's the kind of Price I'm hoping comes out and fucking is just fired up. And just, what if Montreal sweeps fucking Toronto?
Dude, that would be... I don't want that. I don't wish that on Toronto.
I don't wish it on them either, but I mean, I would laugh. And then, like, I don't know. What does Toronto do? Do they blow it up?
Oh, if you don't win it this year, I think you almost have to.
Yeah. It's not going to happen now. Not now, not ever.
Commit to like one of these core players, one or two of these core players, and everybody else has got to be free game.
Yeah.
Poor Jumbo Joe. Poor Jumbo Joe.
I mean, at least he's in the playoffs. If he was on San Jose, he wouldn't be in there.
Yeah, but
poor Patty Marleau.
God, knowing him though, his luck, they'll get to the final and fucking lose Game 7 overtime.
It'd be funny if it was to like San Jose though.
Oh my god. I just
kind of like the Bacchus treatment where it's like, oh god, you're the team that you've been with for so long, and then you play them in the final and lose to them.
I just really want Toronto to win this year so he can retire. Let the man sleep. Let him
lay him down to rest as he's holding the cup on the ice. And just close his eyes slowly and just go, shh, now you can sleep, Joe.
Sleep.
He scores 4 goals in the fucking Game 7 and just whips his dick out. I love it.
Oh, shit. All right. Edmonton, Winnipeg, they kick off tonight. I took Edmonton in 6.
I think the same, actually. I think Edmonton in 6. Yep. Edmonton in 6. Connor McDavid's going to be unstoppable. I don't think Winnipeg was able to stop him this year, so like I don't see it happening in the playoffs either, unless they like somehow hurt him.
Hellebuck's going to be able to steal a game or two. That's why I said 6.
Yeah,
but I just think that Edmonton's offense is just too
McDavid.
Much. Even if it's just McDavid, Draisaitl.
It is just McDavid, Draisaitl.
I'm just saying though, like even though it's just them, like
that's we saw what happened last year with like against the Hawks. Like they still did really well, but I don't know. They didn't have a lot of help.
Can Winnipeg capitalize when they're not on the ice though? That's the thing. The Hawks were able to step up when McDavid and Draisaitl got off the ice.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not sure Winnipeg can do that.
Yeah, well, Winnipeg also had the issues last year with injuries. Very, like Game 1 right away. Like they got screwed. They lost Scheifele and they lost Laine. But that's a different story this year. No Laine. So
all right. Who do you have coming out of the North Division?
Oh, I actually have the Oilers. So I have them beating Montreal, and then the Oilers moving on to the, I guess, technically conference finals, even though there's no conferences.
Semifinals.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got Edmonton out of the East too, or North too.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, like we said the whole time, like goaltending hasn't been very impressive in the North this year. So having Connor McDavid just absolutely have his way with everybody. I feel like it's going to happen and then going to run into a fucking brick wall as soon as they reach the semifinals. So,
all right. Let's move to the East.
Okay.
These games
moving on to the East.
These games have already started. We'll start with Pittsburgh, New York Islanders. That series is tied 1-1 as of right now. I took the Islanders in 6.
I took the Islanders in 7, which, I mean, pretty close. I don't know why. I don't know if you heard or anything, but why did they go with Sorokin game 1 and then Varlamov game 2? They just wanted to see like what each guy was going to bring.
Was
like
it
the Islanders
hand at the end of the season type of thing?
It might have been. Like then they won the game and then they still went with Varlamov for game 2 and he let up that weak ass fucking goal where it just went right over his glove and he was just standing there. I think that would ended up being the game decider too. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just don't. I don't know. I haven't seen anything or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm curious as to what the decisions were there after like winning the first game. But I mean, they just couldn't score in game 2. Islanders. Yeah, they lost 2-1. So
I think it's weird too. Pittsburgh's wearing those gold jerseys.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes out. I like the Islanders just because of Barry Trotz. Like he's so good. He always has a great defensive team. If anybody's going to shut down Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, I think like they're the team. They're a real good choice to do it.
And you got to kind of think too. Did Pittsburgh plateau in the regular season? Like, are they going to have? They're an older team. Are they going to be able to have enough gas to keep it going through the playoffs?
Yes. Yes, they are. I think they've been there before. They know what it takes. Yeah, Crosby is still just unreal. Like he may not put up like the amount of points like he used to, but he's still a crazy good leader. And like they call him, they always call him like crafty veterans. It's like, yeah, they know how to cheat. They know the shit you can do. It's been fun to watch. I mean, all the hockey's been pretty fucking fun to watch, really.
Definitely. All right, the game game 3 is currently going on right now. Washington versus Boston. At the advice of Noli, I took Boston in 7. I originally had Washington in 7, but he convinced me, Ovechkin's been hurt. Oh, she's been hurt. And then game 1, Ovechkin's back. Oh, she's back. I was like, God damn it.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and the crazy thing, too, is they lost their goalie, Vitek Vanacek or whatever, and they've had Craig Anderson playing, and I don't know if he's playing right now. I haven't actually looked at who's in net, unless you have it up or anything.
I have the game in the background, and they're in intermission right now. Let's see. In net is...
Did they get Samsonov back, or are they still going with Craig Anderson?
No, Samsonov is back.
Okay, because he was in COVID protocol.
Yeah,
but like the crazy thing is, even though that Anderson is like 42 or something like that, his career like playoff stats, he's got a .929 save percentage. And in the 2 games that he's played against the Boston Bruins, he's got a .929 save percentage. So like,
he's underrated. He's underrated for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he only played 4. I remember looking at his stats. He only played 4 games during the regular season. Like, was like 2-1-1 or something like that. Like, it wasn't anything great, but like when it's playoffs, like he knows his game just elevates. And the last time he was in the playoffs was with Ottawa when they went to the Eastern Conference Finals versus Pittsburgh, I think, where he was playing absolutely amazing there. But yeah, no, fuck that, dude. I have Washington winning this series. And I have them in 6, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this might be the hardest division to pick from.
Yeah.
Because I think every single one of those series each of those series can go either way. I guess No, because Central has Carolina versus National. I think that's a pretty easy one to pick. But who do you have? All right, so before we get to that, who do you have coming out of the East?
I have Washington beating the Islanders and
I
moving
have,
on to the semifinals.
I have the Islanders beating Boston.
Ooh, a 4 seed. Yeah, that makes sense. I can see that. I mean, I love it. It's just playoffs, so I can see everything happening. There's only a couple of scenarios I don't see happening, but anything's possible, you know.
Yeah.
All
right.
Move on to the West.
To the West, got Colorado versus St. Louis. Colorado is up 1-0 on that series. Started off with a bang with a fucking slobber knocker of a fight.
Yeah, Landeskog just labeling Perron,
which is crazy. Like you don't see many fights in playoff hockey, like straight up fights.
Yeah, and the crazier thing to me is that David Perron, I think, was the St. Louis Blues like leading point getter.
Yeah, he had a great season.
He did, and and he's the one getting in a fight, and Landeskog would just fucking beat the shit out of him, I think. Oh man, it was crazy.
And then Binnington,
honestly, yeah, Binnington had a huge game until they lost 4-1, and then he putting down his tough guy act, skating down the ice at the end of the game. He's gonna actually do something, probably throw some fake punches at people.
He's the guy that he's like the hold me back, and then the second they're like, no, fuck it, go for it. He's like, oh wait, what are you doing? Like, I'm just joking, guys. I don't want to fucking.
Yeah, it's like the video online of like the two dogs barking at each other from behind a fence, and the fence gets moved, and then they no longer barking at each other because they put their tails between their legs, and then the fence gets put back, and they start barking at each other again.
I hate Binnington so much.
Yeah, and that's why I chose Colorado in 4.
4. All right, I took Colorado 5. I don't know if I said that yet.
No, but yeah, I don't know. I think Colorado it's whoever the 1 seed was between Colorado and the Golden Knights. Whoever they were playing at 4, no matter if it was St. Louis or if it was Arizona or LA, I think they just completely outclass them by a bit. Like Colorado, especially since like they have, I want to say, like the most goals for, or least goals against, like lowest shots against per game. It's all that kind of stuff that I was talking about with. Holy shit! Oh, this is playoff stats. I was like pulling up I was trying to pull up regular season stats, but it was like I guess Colorado had 50 fucking shots against. Yeah, so shots against per game, Colorado had the least amount, and then I think they were second in shots for per game. And then they had a decent power play, I think. And like they're 8th in the power play, and they had a good penalty kill as well. They're 8th in the penalty kill. They were number 1 in goals for per game, and let's see, and they were number 3 in goals against per game. Like that's a solid team, offense, defense. Their goalie was showing up. I mean, we were talking about Grubauer earlier. He had an insane fucking save percentage and like 6 or 7 shutouts or something like that.
It's kind of like Blackhawk vibes a little bit early on. Like that just seems like this team feels destined to go deep in this playoff, and I wouldn't be surprised. But they will have to get through whoever. If they beat St. Louis, they have to get through Vegas, Minnesota.
Vegas, Minnesota. Yeah,
I got Vegas in 6.
For Vegas and Minnesota, I got Vegas in 7.
He's in 7, and it's after that first game too for Minnesota. It's doable. Minnesota put up a much better fight game 1 than I thought. I mean, I was expecting. Game 2, I believe it was a blowout.
No, it was 3-1.
3-1. Okay,
and it was actually Minnesota scored the first goal, and then Vegas came and scored within like a minute or two. And then like somewhere after that, like they scored their second one, and then there was like nothing. until I think the very end of the game.
8 seconds after Minnesota scored.
It was 8 seconds. Yeah, I knew it was like fucking
Yeah.
like right away. But there was like nothing until like the third period. Yeah, so then Tuck scored only like maybe 5 minutes after they tied it up. And then at the very end, like 50 seconds left, they got another one. So like it's a super crazy defensive series, and it kind of reminds me of when Vegas went up against LA and swept them, where Marc-Andre Fleury was having an unbelievable playoffs, and so was Quick, and there was only like 5 goals scored in like the 4 games or some shit, where like Quick only had maybe like a 1.15 goals against average, and fucking Marc-Andre Fleury had like a 0.87, and it was just like unbelievable goaltending, like almost no goals being scored.
It was such a good series that people forget how good it was because it was a 4-game sweep.
Yeah, it never should have been a 4-game sweep. It was just every game just went slightly tilted towards Vegas in the end, and it was just crazy. And that's what this makes me feel like. It's 2 crazy good defensive teams. And I mean, we saw that where Minnesota's only scored 1 goal per game so far. I mean, and Vegas is averaging 1.5. But that's a good defensive series to watch. I don't think that one's been very chippy at all, really, either.
No, I haven't seen any of those games yet. I've just kind of seen highlights and all that.
Yeah. There's only been a few series that have gotten a little chippy. Like the Islanders and Pittsburgh has been getting chippy. I mean, like North Division hasn't even started yet. The Colorado and St. Louis series got a little chippy at the end.
Washington, Boston's going to get chippy. It's already kind of getting chippy, but I think just anything with Boston, Marchand and Wilson together, like it's going to get fucking chippy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What would Marchand do? He brought his stick up into like Manta's face, like game 2, like while chatting with the ref, and then they both got penalized for it, which I thought was just fucking silly as hell.
He's a little shit.
Yeah, he's a little shit.
Who do you got coming out of this division?
Vegas beating Colorado.
I got Colorado beating Vegas.
Ooh.
All right. Last division.
Central.
What the Hawks should have been on if they didn't fucking show. No, they did fine. All right. Yeah. Carolina, Nashville. Carolina took the division. First game was what, 5-2?
Ooh, was it?
Yeah, I think so. Stahl fucking.
Yeah, Jordan Stahl had himself a fucking game.
Yeah, 5-2, game 1.
Yeah, but there was one. I think there was at least one empty netter, so it wasn't like as much of a blowout as it seems.
3 goals for the Hurricanes in the third. Forsberg had a nice goal. Teravainen had a nice one.
Jordan Stahl had a snipe.
Yeah, was that the first or second one?
That was his first one, and it was funny because I saw like the clip where they were interviewing him either post game or between periods or something. And they asked him about, like, did you see that little area above his shoulder? And he goes, "No, I had my head down. I just wanted to throw it on net." Just, well, way to just put it on net there, bud. It's like a real good fucking shot.
Oh, okay. I got Carolina in 6 in that series.
I have Carolina in 5, actually. I just think it was the same kind of situation where with like the Vegas or Colorado thing, I think that they're just like a tier ahead, and I think UC Saros might be able to steal a game, but I think that Carolina's kind of just a more well-built team, like offensively, defensively, and I mean, goaltending's pretty even for me. Like we were talking about Nedeljkovic already, and even if he doesn't able to play, like Mrazek had a decent season too, even though he was out for a long part of it. But yeah, Carolina taking it in 5.
And then you got the Battle of the South. Florida and Tampa. Tampa Bay is up right now 2-0. And this is how you guys know that I'm sticking with what I put on the bracket because I got Florida in 7.
I actually have Florida in 7 too. That's hilarious. I mean, the first game was a battle and a half and could have gone either way. I think there was a couple lead changes throughout the game. Yeah, like it was Tampa led game 1, and then Florida led, and then Tampa led, and then Florida led, and then Tampa won. And it was just insane. I think Huberto like had a massive game that period, or had a massive third period that game.
What was it? Hubie Doobie Doo?
Yeah, there was somebody in game 2 I saw on TV that they had a jersey. This like some girl like stand in the stands and she had number 11 Hubie Doobie Doo, and I was like, that's fucking hilarious.
But no, I just feel like Florida. I know Florida won the season series. I can't remember what the actual like final standings were or record was, but there's just something about Florida. I think. But then again, you also got to remember Kucherov's back, Stamkos is back.
$17 million over the cap.
Yeah, it's like what $100 million cap right now.
I can find it.
That's not really important, but
17 million over the cap. Their final cap hit 98.84.
It's fucking nuts.
I think that's just so fucking ridiculous. Like, how much of it are they actually hurt versus how much of it is just like, oh, we're gonna put you on IR until we can make the playoffs.
Play the system.
Like, what a coincidence! They're both ready. Game 1 of the fucking playoffs, and like,
Kucherov, I believe. Stamkos, I'm like, I don't know about that one. I think
Kucherov, I guarantee, was fucking ready during the season, and they just didn't activate him. If he's gonna be so ready game 1, it's just horseshit. So and it's funny because like the Hawks kind of did it like in 2015 when Kane went out, but Kane got hurt during the season.
It wasn't fucking 17 million over.
Right. It's not like they brought in somebody that was worth fucking 9.5 million.
Yeah.
So the trade deadline, they brought in Antoine Vermette. And I was like, okay. But yeah, it still just kind of pisses me off that that's somehow legal or whatever. I still have Florida though. It sucks because like Sam Bennett was a huge pickup for them, and he got suspended for game 2. So I think that was a little bit of a hurt to them because he's been fucking playing the body.
Yeah, if they can pick up this game 1 or game 3 or what back in Tampa.
Yeah, so they need to win the 2 on the road.
Yeah, but that's probably the dumbest thing you're going to hear us say today is they have to win their 2 games on the road. But well, no shit. But they're down 2-0. But you got
to win at least 2.
Who do you have coming out of this division?
I actually had Florida coming out of this division. I just feel like they're a very complete team. And the crazy thing to me too is like they seem like they could have 3 goaltending options.
They got like 4, I feel like.
It's Dredger, Bobrovsky, who actually didn't have a terrible game 1, but I mean, even though it was kind of high scoring. And then Spencer Knight like ended the season pretty goddamn hot.
Yeah. Like
getting his first NHL action. I feel like if anything happens, like they could just throw him in and see what happens.
Yeah. So, all right. Real quick, your champion.
I got Vegas winning it all.
And I got Colorado.
So just the West.
Yeah, I got Colorado, but I got Colorado over Carolina.
Is that how it works?
So they'll go. They reseed.
Yeah.
So Colorado. So I had Colorado, the New York Islanders, Carolina, and Edmonton. So Colorado was the first seed. Carolina would be the second seed. Edmonton would be the third seed, and Islanders would be the last seed.
Oh, I don't know what mine ends up being.
Let's see real quick. You took
Florida, Vegas, Washington, Edmonton. I took all number 2 seeds from their division. I didn't even realize that.
Well, I'm not even going to try to pretend I know how to figure that one out.
Well, I think Vegas would be number 1 just because they finished like towards the top.
Yeah.
I think Florida would be 2. Maybe Washington, then Edmonton. Let's do some quick stuff. Let's figure it out. I don't know. Where the fuck is the standings at this point? Oh, there they are.
Standing.
So, based on the league standings,
Vegas, Florida, Washington.
Vegas, Florida. Okay, so it'd be Florida versus Washington and Vegas versus Edmonton.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would probably I could see like Washington versus Vegas again in the finals from what I picked.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, but Vegas wins it this time.
I just hope it's something ridiculous, like just because it's like, who knows that? Like, I don't think there will ever be an opportunity for the same conference to play each other. Like, it would be really cool to see Toronto versus Boston, Montreal versus Boston, stuff like that. Like,
yeah,
but
it could be like Carolina versus like Pittsburgh or some shit.
yeah. So I mean, yeah,
playoff
hockey. Playoff hockey, baby.
I mean, we can also just hope for the most chaos and just have like all the 4 seeds make it, and it'll be like the Preds versus Winnipeg versus who's the 4th seed in the East? Islanders and Blues. Ugh.
I think the Islanders would walk away with that.
Well, you never know.
All right, let us know who your predictions are. I know we're a little bit late on that, but I think we still stuck to what we originally picked, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's too bad he didn't choose like Islanders in 4.
So, all right. So I think we're going to wrap this episode up with our interview with the Cimoch hockey training crew. Make sure to follow us on all social media. Make sure to follow them on all their social media. We'll put the description that in the description, link it up and everything. I believe it's just Cimoch hockey training on Facebook and CH training on Instagram.
No, I think Instagram, he said it was Cimoch_hockey_training.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, guys. But yeah,
it's okay. I like watching the highlights that they have on theirs. Yeah,
so we'll link that all up. Yeah, follow us on everything. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to us on Spotify. Leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Help the show grow. We're already the #1 hockey podcast in Vietnam. Now we're coming for the rest of the world.
Thanks, VPN.
So, Tanner, what do you want to call this one?
Playoff time, baby.
Playoff time, baby. All right. So yeah, enjoy a little talk from Cimoch, Jay and Chris, and we'll see you on Monday.
Hey, fuck the Blues. Love you, boys. Bye.
All right, so we got a couple of special guests here today. If you grew up playing hockey on the south side of Chicago, you already know who we're talking to. But for those of you who don't, we are joined by Jay Cimoch, who is the founder and co-owner of Cimoch Hockey Training, and Chris Cimoch, who is a co-owner. Chris is also, longtime friend of the show. He's been on here a couple times. But yeah, so how you boys doing?
Doing well. Thanks for having us. Really appreciate it.
Awesome. Yeah, really appreciate you guys coming on. I know it's been a long time coming. We me and Jay have been talking about this for a little bit. So let's just jump right into it. Everybody, like I said, if you grew up on the south side of Chicago, everybody knows the Cimochs. You guys got the legendary, Coach Chris Sr. As your dad and all that. So I think it's pretty easy to know how you guys got it started, but why don't you tell us, what really got you into the game?
So yeah, kind of during the pandemic, I was working for another hockey company, and stuff like that. And I had discussions with my brother and my dad about, maybe starting something up, and, cause I didn't like the direction, the way things were headed there. So I wanted to provide an outlet for players where it's elite small group training. So kind of what the bigger hockey schools and camps, they like to run the big camps that you guys know, 40 kids on the ice at once. Maybe not a lot of movement, a lot of coaches talking, but before you know it, the hour's over. So I wanted to create something a little bit more tight knit. You're almost getting your own personal private lesson, and then putting each kid's into skill based where they're at, whether it's a house league, travel, or AAA player, they're going to be put in a group where they could excel and get pushed. So I think I didn't think necessarily it would take off the way it did in August, but it's been one heck of a journey, and I couldn't be more grateful for people like you guys, and then everyone else, all our athletes and all our parents who support us.
Is part of the reason that you kind of started it up was that you wish that you had something like that, like growing up, just kind of to hone in on some certain skills?
Yeah, I think so. I'll let Chris take that one. Chris, go on.
Yeah, no, I think Jay kind of hit it on the head. I think the bigger thing, Tanner, is it's actually something that we did grow up with.
Oh, okay.
Our dad, worked at an ice arena for many years, and a hockey director, and he always had the ice for us to use, and we took full advantage of it. And the majority of the time, it was if it was anybody else out there, it was maybe other 2 or 3 guys. So we really got to hone in on some specialized training, working with my dad, and that kind of led us into what we have always done. And then I think Jay pushed really hard to push our brand, and kind of just, it's something we've always done coaching wise, and now we put a brand name to it. Now people can see it, and gee, you guys know the power of social media and what you can push out, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all these different outlets. We've kind of expanded our horizon just to broaden the clients that we get, and also people. It helps that people recognize our last name, and mainly I think Jake can agree with me on it, but my dad was such a big inspiration for so many different hockey players. Zach had the pleasure of playing for him, and he coached us pretty much up until high school. So everything combined with that is something that we believe we can bring to more and more hockey players.
Cool.
Yeah. Like I said, when this year I played with you at the Vikings, Chris, I mean, I'm not sure if your dad was an actual coach, but he might as well have been, because, he was always, offering that extra ice
Yeah.
for us to come on out, kind of like really hone our skills and all that. And I kind of mentioned that in that little video I did for him and his Arctic tribute, that like he went out of his way to make everybody feel welcome, like they want to be part of the organization, all that. Because like I wasn't a homegrown Viking talent, so I kind of got like pushed aside a little bit. So seeing what your dad offered and all that, and kind of seeing what you guys are doing the same now, it's amazing. And I think that you guys are going to be helping a whole lot of new hockey fans, players out there in the near future. You talked about before, like AAA to house league. What kind of like groups do you focus on a certain like talent level at first, or are you guys, straight up across the board?
I really truly believe we offer training for all groups, where there isn't a primary focus just for the top end players. I will say our large majority of our athletes are from Pee Wee to midget. And then even after that, we have a college, a pro college junior group that Chris trains every Tuesday and Thursday with former OHL player Josh Nelson and a couple guys that have played in the SP. I trained Jordan Ernst this past summer, who just won the President's Cup and the SPHL for the Ice Flyers. So it's really a lot across the board. And I think where we primarily work with the beginners is our stick handling and shooting camp that we run. That's where we get more of our younger mites, squirts, just starting out, house league. But no, there's no specific focus on, but it just seems we have a tendency to have Pee-wees on up, and then more so at the elite level, varsity, Central States, AAA. That seems to be where we get a lot of, because those are the kids that are most frequently wanting private training. But there's also a good amount of group. Like we'll have some summer stuff for some house league and travel guys for Might and Squirts, power skates and skill sessions coming up in the month of June. And then we'll have group training in the summer where it's, certain, we have a top level high school group with the best Central States and AAA players, then secondary group for varsity players, and then a third group for JV players. So anyone who wants, and the big part about that is you want them to develop with the right players, not overwhelm them, and let them hone in on it first, as opposed to putting them in a group where they might be a little out of place. And what happens most of the time is hockey players need confidence, so they need to try these drills and not feel like they're getting shown up per se. And then it's a lot of the same stuff that kind of crosses over when you're talking about those kind of skills, but you just meant from a mental standpoint to build up that confidence and to push them for them to get to the varsity level, Central States, AAA. You just want to put them in the right group so you keep on building that confidence up.
Yeah,
Nice.
and I'll just piggyback a little bit off of what Jay said. Is with those groups is the way we split it up. We have our premier groups and then our elite groups, and then obviously there's a pro junior group that we've been fortunate enough to train with. So that's kind of how we split it up, and that's how you guys will see it through various social channels or videos and stuff. And that's kind of how we go about separating those groups. And the key there is we want those guys to progress all the way up, right? We want them to start in the premier group and then go to the elite group, and then some may be fortunate enough to join our pro junior group as they progress with us.
Nice. Is it all just on ice training, or do you guys have any like off ice training kind of stuff, whether it's like equipment or just like routines or exercises?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Jay. You know more about that.
No, well, what I was going to say is that we do offer our stick handling class is always off ice.
Okay.
It is a lot easier, I feel like, to for them to, instead of wasting the ice time per se, to be, a lot of the stick handling and shooting is kind of stationary. You're not moving as much, so it's kind of like a waste of ice time if you're just like focused on that without the skating portion. And then in the summer, what we're going to do is we're going to have a lot of warm-ups, like stretches for our high school guys, that just the preparation to get them used to that business-like mentality, as far as how do you approach the game? What's your mindset when you're walking in the rink? Are you just walking straight into your locker room and getting dressed? Or are you ready to stretch, mentally prepare yourself for the training session? Because I don't think there's any, to me, what we're trying to do, it's more than just hockey training. It's trying to train them for, I think, everyday life. How do you approach life? Are you just going to show up? Or are you going to be prepared? Same thing for a job interview or anything else that they go through. You guys know hockey, it helps in so many different areas. So many life lessons are taught through the game, where that's where I think we really truly care about our athletes, no matter what they're doing, even off the ice. So I think that mental preparation is something that we're kind of key on and stuff like that. And, like I said, we even spiraled into having a U18 tournament, AAA team that's going to be playing in 2 weekends.
Cool.
CHP Bulldogs, and then the next weekend after that, we're going to have a 2010 Pee Wee AAA team playing in the Showdown in the Windy City TCS tournament, CHT Saucer King. So it's been pretty cool to see the growth, and like I said, it's more so just preparing these players for what's next, helping them get to the next stage, whether that's college, junior, varsity hockey, JV, whatever the case may be, or if it's even them playing their first ever season. I had a kid that started in our stick handling class that literally didn't know how to skate, and he had, he played his first year of house league, and I think he had like 6 or 7 goals. I mean, that's like some of the more rewarding stuff too, is helping someone just start out. So
Yeah.
really
Awesome. So yeah, kind of going kind of with what you guys teach and all that kind of stuff. Like I know Chris, me and you kind of like we're old enough now where we could say the game has changed a lot since we played competitively. So
Yeah.
do you see like it, how easy is it to kind of like, teach these kids this new way of playing when it's changed so much over the years?
Well, I think the biggest thing that I've come to realize, I also coach a varsity hockey team. You're an alum, Sandburg hockey team. The biggest thing I've learned from coaching, and whether it's my actual day job being a hockey coordinator for HF Vikings or going to practice, these kids are way more skilled and way more talented than I could ever imagine them getting it, because they do spend a lot of extra time away from the rink themselves, working on their game and doing different things. I think the biggest thing that everything revolves around now, people want to talk about the game is all about speed, it's all about skill, it's about things. The thing that we're trying to instill is, how do we use those skills and those speed, the speed of your player, how do we get them to use that to their full potential, so they're not just the fastest kid on the ice. If you want to skate a lap around the rink, that's great, but that's not necessarily going to make you a good hockey player. So what we're trying to do is, and a lot of our our group sessions or our private lessons, they're revolved around, how do we envision these moves in a game. We spend a lot of time taking. We have a every Wednesday we break down clips, playback Wednesday we call it, of NHL games and NHL goals and NHL plays. We take those clips, we send them out to our group lesson, say, hey, guys, this is the focus here today. How did he use this to set up the goal, or really more training for prepare for your game. Don't just kind of be the best stick handler, be the best skater. How can we translate to make sure that's all around in your game, and when's the right spots to use those? Like I said, it's crazy. The skill level is, some of these kids shoot the puck harder than I will ever shoot the puck. I can't, I'm not firing the puck, but how can we use your skill set in a game setting and prepare you to use that to the best of your ability?
I'm assuming that like a portion of like this like skill set training is having the kids use their creativity, that like you see with a lot of like Connor McDavid's moves, where you're just like, how the hell does he get through that little area and then just goes top shelf somehow? And you're just like, I just can't picture being a goalie at one of these training sessions and just be like, dude, fuck this. Like, are you kidding me? Like, wait, how are they doing all this stuff? Like, it just sounds like it's insane. Like, but I'm sure that's what you're doing. Just like you're just pushing their creativity and trying to get them to be more confident in that. Cause like confidence is a huge part of playing anything, whether it's hockey or any sports or just in life. And like, the more confident you are, the more shit you can pull off.
Yeah.
Just,
I think to kind of go off of that, like me and my brother were having a conversation the other day. We have like our skeleton of our drills, and we have those set up for, creating, a purpose for scoring, right?
Mm-hmm.
But inside of those things, we let them do creative things. We almost create our drills so that it forces them to do a different type of thing.
Okay.
If that makes sense, like to use their mind a little bit. Like if they try something and they mess up, we're not going to yell at them. They're using what they think is right. And a lot of times you can learn off of that, whether it is right, whether it is wrong. You got to be able to express yourself, and the kids really, I think they enjoy that aspect of it too, because they have something in their mind, they're thinking of something, and I'll be like, did you see what he just did there? I couldn't, I would have never thought to do, go between my legs there, because the goalies slide over, too far, stuff like that, stuff like you probably, if you ever, had the pleasure of watching them like a Datsu practice or something, like I think that's what we try to instill as well. Yeah, definitely hit that creative side of things.
Yeah, I'm just picturing like playing as like a kid, and then the coach always just telling everybody like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, if you try that in a game, you're not playing the rest of the game." And it's just like, all right, well, there goes all creativity.
Yep.
So how's your dad doing with all this? Like, is he excited for you guys on this? Is he? I mean, he's still involved with all this with you guys, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, on a smaller scale, I think him with the tender that he had, he slowly wants to back away from the game, but I think he really enjoys working with some of the younger kids because that's his specialty.
Yeah.
He does like working with the older kids too, but he's more of a background player. He doesn't want the spotlight on him. He never has. He always wants to put the focus on the kids and the training. He's I'd like to say our stick handling and shooting camp like guru. That's where he helps out the most. He's with his new job, he's not on the ice with us as much, but he's definitely still a part of it. And Cimoch hockey training doesn't exist without Coach Chris, and my father. So he plays a big part of this as well.
That's a hell of a crutch the guy you guys have, if in case you guys, need something or, need that little extra advice on like how to take it to the next level or something like that, man. I can't, there's definitely nobody better than your dad. That's for sure.
We'd like to think he's the best, but I think what I taken away the most of him, I think he's one of the best power skating coaches I've ever seen. His edge work and how fast he is. I mean, I think Zach. I haven't seen a guy of his age be able to skate like that. It's pretty incredible. But I think what I learned the most from him is just how he treats people. The impact he's had on people where they come back and have visited him years and years after they're done playing. I think that speaks volumes to the kind of person he is. And that's where our training, we do care about each one of our athletes, and we want to make sure they're exceeding in every aspect of life. Just like one of our longtime athletes, Danny Dargan, he played for me at St. Rita, and he did a lot of training with Chris. He's enlisting in the Marines. And then we have Luke McGuire, who's going to the Air Force. So when you see stuff like that, and then they come and thank you and stuff, and they send text messages and call you, I think that's what's even deeper, because you help guide them in a way that can help them succeed in everyday lives. And I'm not taking any credit for that. They're the ones that are doing it. But what I think is really important is just the values and what he teaches. That's what I think everyone remembers my dad, how you felt around him. He's always positive, he's always upbeat, very stern, hard when he has to, but that's what the game of hockey is all about, just teaching those life lessons.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so we're gonna wrap up in a couple minutes here. So first, let's get your guys' opinion on the playoffs right now. It's been kind of insane to start. First 3 games go to overtime, and last night the shootout between Florida and Tampa. Who you guys pulling for? Do you guys got any like upset predictions or anything like that? Nope.
No, not all at once right now.
I talk last, so I don't want to talk over.
I think I was talking to Jay today. I was talking to Jay today. I have a weird feeling about Nashville and Carolina. I feel like that's going to be one of my upsets there. I really like how the Florida Panthers are built right now. They seem, if they can get past Tampa, I could easily see them coming out of the East. And boy, was that an incredible game yesterday. And then I like Vegas out of the West. I think they're just, I guess you could say it for the past 3 years, they're a heavy team to play against. I can't trust Colorado's goalies just yet. Yeah. Otherwise, that could be, another one. But I think if I had to choose right now, my one upset is definitely, I think Nashville's got, for some reason, it just keeps popping in my head. That they can pull off this upset, and then I could see Florida coming out of the East with Vegas in the final. So
That'd be good. That'd be a nice one.
Yeah, I keep saying it, but Grubauer is just Niemi 2.0. So
Yeah. And Niemi did win a cup, so
that's the thing. He was on the team that had the best the best power play, best penalty kill, like least amount of shots against the game. Like it was all the same as the 2010 team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about you?
I think I think the Boston Capital series can go either way. I feel like that's a real toss up. I think we're going to go 7 on that one. Very indecisive on that. I do like Florida, like Chris said. If they get some goaltending from Bobrovsky and he could step up his game, I really think they have a really good chance to upset Tampa. I guess you can call it upset. I think they're even favored in that series.
Yeah.
I can see Q pulling Bob pretty quick, just given the season Dreger's had. He's had an incredible season. So I could see that, and he's not afraid to do that. As far as upsets, I guess you could say Winnipeg over Edmonton. But the problem I have with Edmonton is, yeah, McDavid's one of the best players in the world, but please tell me who's going to do anything on those bottom 2 lines. I'd love to know. I think they're a -43 or something like that when Draisaitl or McDavid aren't on the ice. So I just can't trust their goaltending either. I think Mike Smith is way past his prime, and I think Mikko Koskinen might be one of the worst goalies in the NHL. We're number 19. I think that's that reason. But if I had to pick a cup favorite, I love Vegas. That's my team. I love the depth. I think depth in playoffs is so key. So you look at the teams with some of the most depth around the league. I like the Hurricanes, unlike Chris. I think they're going to go really far. I love their depth. And I think they do have the goaltending between Nedeljkovic and Mrazek to get it done. But just Vegas sticks out as a cup favorite to me, just because they have what it takes as far as goaltending, defense. I mean, they're so deep all around. It was a great game from Minnesota, but I can't see how they're going to get upset. And then another one that everyone I think is writing off a little bit, maybe because of the past playoff failures, but I think it's a lot different given this year is Toronto. I don't think they're built the same way they were, where they were more skill based. I really think with the additions of Simmons and Thornton, that might put them over the top. And I like Vegas and Toronto to meet there. And then if I had to go out of the other 2 divisions, I could see Pittsburgh and Florida or Carolina making it. I love Pittsburgh. Another team who's real deep too.
Yeah. Pittsburgh's just surprised, I think, me and Jarom both this year with, they just ended up coming in first, and you're like, I didn't expect that at all. Of course, Sidney Crosby just doesn't get any talk, and he just pulls that team all the way up to first place in that division. It's just insane.
That division was so tough all year. You look at a team, the Rangers, dropped them in any other division, they probably would have made the playoffs. I think they had more points than some of the playoff teams.
Yeah, they do.
They were 13th in the league.
So I think that speaks to how great that division is. And then the leadership from Crosby, and then 9 goals in 14 games from Jeff Carter. I mean, what a pickup by Ron Hex.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
All right, guys. Well, we really thank you guys for coming on, talking Cimoch hockey training, all that. Shoot your, where can they find more information about you guys, social media and all that kind of stuff?
They can follow us on Facebook. If they just type in Cimoch hockey training and give us a like and a follow. And then where we're primarily a lot of our content and our stories and everything, Instagram and our training clips, it's Cimoch_hockey_training.
Awesome. And we will for sure put all the information in our bios and all that kind of stuff. Guys, thanks so much for coming on. We'll definitely do this again sometime soon. I think we'll have definitely want to talk to you, Chris, when we got some more time to see what you think about Yzerman, and because you're that weird Chicago Detroit Red Wing fan. So.
Hey, we're on the up. We're on the upswing. We just needed Stevie Y back. That's all it took.
On a baby.
They're going to be so fucking good in a little bit.
Yeah, they are. All right, boys. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
the Windy City Benders Podcast. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and YouTube. And follow the boys on socials at WCB Podcast.